This is one of the many spots where Cat is lethal. When the Knicks run in transition and get the ball in the paint early while the defense is scrambling, Cat is going to naturally float to the perimeter. Meanwhile, the Hornets big men or NBA bigs around the league, they're used to going under the basket to find their man. And on this play, Nick Richards actually is technically picking up Josh Hart. So everyone else on the court, their first instinct most likely is not going to be to pick up a big. It's going to be to pick up like a smaller guard or a wing. Usually it just causes miscommunications and easy three-point opportunities for he himself. But let's also appreciate where he pulls up from way deep. That's a 7-footer. That's just not fair. And I think this play perfectly showcases why they traded for Cat, aka for maximum spacing offensively. They are trying to set something up, but Cat locates a butt-naked open driving lane. I mean, look at how much space is in the paint. That's the benefit of having a 7-footer who can put the ball on the ground and also having shooters everywhere. And now we see the first well-executed two-man action with Cat and Brunson. Good screen forces separation from Brandon Miller, and now Gibson is forced to switch. Miller is still trying to get back on Brunson. The problem is you are leaving a 40% three-point shooter wide open. And you can kind of tell Jalen Brunson is not used to playing with a big who can shoot in this situation because he was extremely late to make the pass. However, executing that sort of scenario is going to be a huge part of their two-man game and the Knicks offense. You also saw the Knicks feed him in the mid-post a couple times early in the game. The first time they ran Brunson around him as a cutter, nifty pass, just a miss open layup. And then the same exact thing a couple minutes later, OG catches with an advantage, but he doesn't execute. So 2 times they sold Cat, but you can tell getting him touches in that area and him finding cutters will be a point of emphasis for them moving forward. And as expected, the starting five needs to develop chemistry. The ball movement wasn't there, and I feel like they didn't want to step on each other's toes at times. And I'd say this was the best possession of the night for the starting five off a miss. Brunson rushes it up the floor. They feed Cat while he has a mismatch. He draws 2 and finds the cutting Hart, who kicks it to OG, and it leads to a foul. That's the type of ball movement you would like to see. It just wasn't happening a lot with the starting five. And you saw the Hornets adjust to the pick and pop as well. They put Taj Gibson on Josh Hart, a less dangerous shooter. They were switching the pick and rolls between Brunson and Cat. And this is why I think they should think about starting Miles McBride, because Josh Hart is such a make or break player. And with him on the court, you're going to see these defenses. The Knicks are going to have to get used to this. It'll be interesting to see how they improve. They switch Brandon Miller onto Cat, but notice Nick Richards leaves Hart to go on Cat, and then Miller sprints to Hart. And just overall switching the Cat and Brunson pick and roll cooked that possession. Now, the Hornets did try the same thing later, but with Terrence Mann, but he's just too small and he commits a foul. Same exact thing happened to Brandon Miller a couple minutes later as he was fighting through the OG Anunoby screen. So as you can tell, as expected, teams are going to combat the Brunson and Cat two-man game with 2 players who can, switch and hold their own on both Cat and Brunson. Now, luckily, every team doesn't have that, but most elite teams are going to be running that type of defense, and then they're going to put their big man on Josh Hart if he's going to be running big minutes with the starting five. I would also like to see Karl Anthony Towns buy into being a more effective screener, because Isaiah Hartenstein was one of the best screeners in the league, and you saw tonight there was a lot of non-effective screens in my opinion. But yeah, that's all I got. Let me know your thoughts below in the comment section. I'm excited to see how this unit grows together because they got all the talent in the world.